We're gonna discuss Agile today. To be Agile or not to be. And this is the question that the answer to this question depends on who you're asking it to. If you ask an Agile coach or if you ask a consultancy firm that is selling you the Agile and safe trainings, of course they say Agile is the solution for everything. Here I will try to give you a practitioner point of view, what works well and what does not work so well with Agile. So first thing to say is that like many other project management methodologies, it's conditional, meaning that in some cases this methodology will work and in some other cases this does not work. So unfortunately, it's not a one solution fits all. Then the correct question to ask is, when do I need Agile? And I would say the simple answer to that would be that you look at your projects, look at the history of your projects. Have they been successful? Have you been finishing them on time and budget with the correct quality? Do you have a happy customer? What are the major issues you have with them? And if your answer to those questions are negative and you're happy or mostly happy with your projects, then probably you should not stir things up, and you don't need a change of a methodology, but you might need to have some small improvement here and there. On the other hand, if you say there are major issues, then maybe Agile could be a solution to some of those issues. In my opinion, Agile will basically solve three main issues. Number one is that your scope is not clear. Meaning that you or your client cannot specify the scope in detail. You don't know what the final product or service is going to look like. This is usually the case if you're doing a new product development in a very dynamic market, or in a lot of software development projects. You lack the end customer point of view. You don't know what the customer would actually want, so you cannot design your functional specification, which means you cannot design your scope. So an example of that is like if you're developing an application, an app, and this is hard to understand your customer reaction to this because nothing like that has ever existed before, so you have no way of collecting the input. And the requirement can change a lot as you're working on the project and you know more about your needs and your scope. So in this case, the role of the Agile methodology is to help to keep your scope open and flexible until you know what exactly you want, and then you can lock it down. So the second one would be that when your technology is not clear, let's say you're making a development with a technology that is not proven before. This is a lot of time like an R&D project when you need to create your technology as you're moving in your project. And it is not easy to estimate your effort before the start of the project. And Agile would be a good solution to lead these type of projects. The third aspect is control. And here is where you need to control your team closely, meaning that the original estimate might not be very reliable. It could be that it is hard to estimate due to the reason one, which is unclear scope, or reason two, unclear technology. Or if you have a team which is not used to work together, they are in early phases of team formation, and you want to check on your team and control your team a lot. And here is where Agile with its structure can facilitate this activity for you. These three areas are where I would say Agile can be very useful. On the other hand, if you have projects that you can define their scope in detail, you have a proven technology and you have done similar projects before, and you have a team that can function well, then I would say Agile will not help your project or success of your project any more than any other project management methodology, as long that it is executed properly.